This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to talk about an irritating figure from the G.I. Joe Classified series. By irritating, I mean, as you might have noticed here, we have Richard Crystal Ball King, part of Cobra, but was also a Wal-Mart Collecticon exclusive. And as we know, with so many of Wal-Mart's exclusives, they like to cancel them on people. If you saw one of my posts on YouTube, this figure did in fact get canceled on me, but over the weekend, last weekend, or I guess 2 weekends ago now, I found him in the store. So I bought him because I wanted him. Actually, I got 2 of him because I wanted to display him in 2 different ways, especially now that we're getting the kind of ghost trooper thing going on here. So on the front, of course, we see his weaponry and his other stuff there. That Cthulhu mask. On the side, we see him all masked up and ready to go. On the other side, we just get the same old BS. And on the back there, we just see a product shot with him masked and the shield and all that other fun stuff. Now, let's go ahead and open this sucker up. Okay. Apparently this guy thinks he's the Mandarin with all the rings on his hand. Alright, so let's set him aside. Whoa, apparently he's drunk. Let's set him aside for the moment and take a look at his accessories first. First thing I do want to look at, however, is the alternate head. I thought this was going to be a mask, but it's a full head sculpt, it looks like, because there is a spot down here for the thing. So we got the Cthulhu tentacles on the side. We got a couple of great horns. Now, if you watched Viper Island when they talked about this one, theirs came with a cracked horn. Mine is in fine shape, but I can see how this is really breakable. Because while this feels kind of like a soft plastic, it's not particularly soft. I think maybe what they should have done, well, besides the fact that they should have put this in glow-in-the-dark material in the first place, maybe they should have done like a green base and have that be the main part and then have this over that and have it be a softer rubber plastic. You know what I mean? But then again, I think they sculpted pretty much everything here out of the same stuff. So there is that. I do like this mask. I think it looks cool. Again, it's a shame they didn't make it glow in the dark. He comes with an extra hand. He's got claws going on there with his hands. Nice little fingertippies. We've got a old-fashioned revolver here. Everybody keeps on saying that this is a time worm on there from Cobra Law. Maybe it is. But if you look at it, it kind of looks like it's coming out of part of the gun. That might be a head at the end of it, but I'm not sure. And I don't think I can even get a close enough picture of that to show you guys, because you know, yeah. Anyway, I think that addition looks kind of stupid, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's go ahead and put that in his holster here. By the way, he's got this long hard coat, and then his pistol, his revolver, goes in handle back. Oh, for goodness sake. Come on, you drunk bastard, stay up on your feet. We get his shield. It's got a lenticular picture here where snakes are going in and out of a skull. I'm hoping you guys can see that okay. It definitely looks like we need to do up and down, though. This does look like it's probably based on the original shield thing he came with. For the grip on the back, we have a hand grip, and then we have a couple of these this open area here for on his arm. Now, they spent the money on the lenticular sticker, and then they give us this stupid-ass thing, which kind of looks cool. Actually, the same artwork that's on the sticker when it's fully activated. I have no idea. I can't really tell on the screen what's popping up. But you just slide this in place. Like so. And if it was glow in the dark, it would have been really awesome. But since it's not, I think it's absolutely worthless garbage. I think this was the only accessory he came with the original toy, though. So let's go ahead and see if we can put this in his hand. Oh, wow. He's got very, very heavy plastic hands there. Heavy plastic. Wow, for goodness sake. You know, I will say this. I vaguely remember what the original Crystal Ball figure looks like, and I do think that this is a huge improvement to that one. Minus his attempt to be the Mandarin. Yeah, I'm just going to keep mocking that, probably. No. He also comes with a flaming sword of green energy. Again, if this glow in the dark, it would be really awesome, but it doesn't, so it's kind of craptastic, and you probably would have been better off with just a... Actually, I would rather have seen this be a regular sword with these green flames that slid over it than have the blade be green also if you're not going to do the glow-in-the-dark thing. I'm just going to keep on harping on the glow-in-the-dark thing, especially since, you know, they are putting out a set of characters that go with him, or I should say an army builder that goes with him, that has glow-in-the-dark parts. What a waste of an opportunity. So then we also have his crystal ball here. Inside, there is a small deformed skull. I think people have said you can take this thing off of here. This feels funky. Oh, this is a soft rubber also. I don't know if I've ever seen a clear soft rubber before. But yeah, there you go. You can get a better look at the skull. Oh, maybe you can, depending on how my camera's picking it up. So that's a pretty cool accessory. Now let's see if we can get this back on. I mean, obviously we should be able to since I got it on in the first place. There's a snake motif there on the bottom, it looks like. However, all right, if we want to have him hold the crystal ball, we kind of have to put one of the tentacles in that hand. Let's go ahead and swap his head out real quick. So there he is with his Cthulhu head. No, if that actually was glow in the dark, it would have been an awesome, awesome accessory. But it doesn't. It's stupid. Let's go ahead and check out our boy's articulation here. Alright, the Cthulhu mask, you do get some up and down. You can turn him a little bit. I am afraid shit's going to break, though, when you turn his head. Because, again, this is kind of a semi-hard plastic. Definitely these horns could break easy, especially because of the design on them. They've got those little grooves. So that makes it even easier to break. But we can basically get his head to turn about that much for the Cthulhu head. We can go down about that much and up about that much. Not a lot. Let's pop this head off, put his regular head on there, and see how that does. Again, there is no hinge in the neck. You can kind of look down, kind of look up, not much. Turn his head all the way around. He's got a mustache that is both a little bit gray and a little bit brown. And he's got, I don't know, noontime shadow maybe? Not quite 5 o'clock shadow. There's also a tattoo there on his chest, if you can see that. I mean, he's got 2 different necklaces. One looks like it has a horseshoe pattern on it. The other one has a crystal. Big surprise. Articulation-wise, though, again, on the arms, we do have a butterfly joint. It does work, even though the jacket does kind of interfere a bit. Oh, dude. You know, you could actually... Let's do this. You can actually remove his coat, and he still looks fine. So that's a nice special feature there that, you know, I wasn't expecting. Although I do think he looks better with the coat. I just wanted to point that out real quick when I noticed that. Because in a lot of cases, it's G.I. Joe characters. Some of the stuff is a little pain in the ass to try to get off. You have to use hot water and all that other fun stuff. All right, so we have a bicep cut. The shoulder pauldron is glued to the top of the shoulder, so it doesn't interfere with this part. We can spin the entire arm around as per normal with G.I. Joe. Again, bicep cut, another tattoo. Elbow is double jointed. We can close it up that much. Although I'm going to say this, his joints feel really loose to me, which is kind of surprising because, no, I guess technically the elbow is probably not a first use mold, but like everything else is. I've been kind of assuming though that these joints are probably molded in with this, I'm assuming that the elbow joints are just put in the same mold as the rest of the plastic arms and stuff, just so everything goes in the same color. He's got an ab crunch instead of a boob cut. We've got the spinny waist here. While it does seem to be designed like normal waists, it's hard to get the wobble going on. We have drop down hips. Thigh cut if it moves. The double jointed knee. The boot cut. I actually like his boots too. And of course, hinge at the foot, at the ankle, and a spin. Since we have a previous version of Crystal Ball in the 80s, we have his file card. Codename, Crystal Ball. Cobra Hypnotist. Born of a Romanian father, who supposedly had second sight, and an American mother from Bangor, Maine, or is that Bangor, Maine? Crystal Ball actually was the seventh son of a seventh son, and such men, the gypsies of old believed, were possessed of supernatural powers. That may or may not be true, but Crystal Ball can sometimes read minds, making him a unique addition to the Cobra forces, especially as an interrogator of captured Joes. Cobra doesn't use torture to interrogate their prisoners when Crystal Ball is having one of his good days. They simply don't need to. When Crystal Ball is around, you don't just have to watch what you're saying, you have to watch what you're thinking. I don't know why I just did that in a semi-Cajun accent. So, overall on Crystal Ball here, I mean, he looks pretty awesome, honestly. He is quite possibly one of the best updates they've done to a G.I. Joe figure, in my humble opinion. And since this is my video, that's the only opinion that matters right now. The only thing is, where they did stupid, again, is not using glow-in-the-dark plastic for the alternative accessories. Imagine how much cooler this thing would have been if his shield, head, sword, and crystal ball all glue in the dark. I suppose it's possible you could probably paint over that with a glow-in-the-dark paint. Maybe that's something I should consider trying in the future. But it won't match up with the upcoming Cobra Ghost Troopers, or whatever they're calling them. And those are supposed to be like his army, right? If I understood it correctly. And those are something I definitely want to get extras of, even though I don't really do the troop building anymore. I think there's like 3 different heads with them, so getting 3 of those to have all of them for display, and then have them behind him in his Cthulhu mask will look just magnificent. Not as magnificent, however, as it would have been if he had glow-in-the-dark plastic parts. Hasbro, why? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at Crystal Ball, and if you did, please feel free to hypnotize that like button. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense in the future, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.